Hi, I'm William Malik with a bit of security for August 15th, 2025. Today we're going to be talking about the security risks associated with a certain class of chat uh, programs. Just recently, OpenAI replaced the GTP 4.0 free version with a newer version, GTP 5, and some people are grieving about this transition. The new version, they say, is less personable, it's less friendly. It turns out that a significant number of people have been relying on GTP 4.0 as a companion or even more. The change in tone they find severely disruptive, like losing a friend to Alzheimer's. This robot is wearing the skin of my dead friend, one person commented. In response, OpenAI restored ChatGPT 4.0 for paying customers. The rest of us just have to learn to live with this newer, less warm and friendly version. This raises two important issues. The first is, what kind of relationships are people indulging in here? And the second, more serious one is, can an LLM be a useful therapist? In the 1960s, Professor Jerome Weisenbaum at MIT wrote a program called Eliza. It was I'm going to say simple in contemporary terms, LISP program that would parse an English sentence and replay it back to the writer in the form of a question. It was named after the female character in George Bernard Shaw's play Pygmalion, which many of us know as the movie My Fair Lady. It acted like a Rogerian counselor. I feel bad today. Tell me why you feel bad today. I had a fight with my mother. Now, the program had two lists of words. One was a list of profanities to which the program would reply, "Don't be childish." And the other was a list of key words that would elicit a stock response. And one of these key words was mother. Tell me about your mother. I should also point out that after extensive testing, my friend Richard and I found that the word ass was not on the first list. Stick this up your transistorized ass. Why do you want me to stick this up my transistorized ass? Anyway, I should point out that after we backed off. The person interacting with the program would come to believe that it was in a sympathetic relationship with a careful listener, would form an emotional bond with the program, became known as doctor. In fact, Professor Weisenbaum recalled coming into his office and his secretary shielded the screen from him so he could not see the dialogue. He felt this was humbug. Today's LLMs draw on a larger body of text, and so they can mimic certain styles of conversation much more adroitly than Eliza ever could. People have been conversing with these simple pattern matching programs as though they were somehow aware, even sharing deep personal issues with their chat box. Many have even gone so far as to seek advice on mental health problems. This is perilous. Recall that LLMs simply ingest a bunch of sentences and compose test-like responses based on their guess about what the most likely next word would be. It's a form of autocomplete, nothing more. When I say I feel depressed, the LLM will give a statistically likely stock reply. When I say I have to end this relationship, the LLM will give the most common reply based on what it's read on the internet. And because the language is weighed towards the statistically most common reply, this chatbot will never, ever come up with a uniquely appropriate creative suggestion or insight. That would be unlikely. That would be statistically rare. The LLM is not giving advice. It's crafting the most typical response that conforms to the pattern of other sentences like it that it's once read. This can lead to tragic outcomes. In April of 2024, Nature magazine published a paper called The Health Risk of Generative AI-Based Wellness Apps. It stated that people sometimes, and this is a quote, share mental health problems and even seek support during a crisis, and that the apps sometimes respond in a manner that increases the risk of harm to the user. Current regulations are vague and do not provide sufficient warning or guidance about such problems. Another study reported, quoting again, 56.6% of chatbot responses to suicide-related messages were categorized as risky, more than half the time. Another study reported that in 2 cases, parents filed lawsuits against Character.ai after their teenage children interacted with chatbots that claimed to be licensed therapists. After extensive use of the app, one boy attacked his parents, and the other boy died of suicide. Years ago, there was a public service ad on TV that showed 2 people chatting over a kitchen table. The voiceover said, "Sometimes the problems you have stay problems because you're not talking to the right people." A chatbot is never the right person. If you're in a crisis, please reach out to a licensed mental health professional. It's great to get affirmation from a friend, family member, a colleague, but when you have a real problem, remember that there are real people who have studied for years to become skilled at helping us find our way back to peace and to health. Real problems have real solutions. Seek them out and be safe. That's our bit of security for August 15th, 2025. I'm William Malik.